We move on. We move on to the challenge. MTV, excuse me. MTV is the challenge. Spies, lies, and allies. This week's daily challenge has the LOL agents hanging from an upside down track and reading Morse code to their partner over walkie-talkie. The team that is able to unlock their bombs, or whatever the fuck they're called, can choose another team to eliminate. The team who unlocks three, whatever the hell these things are called, wins the heat. There's the challengers compete in two heats, and the Vet Alliance starts to show its cracks when Kyle eliminates Devin, his alleged number one. Fester wins the daily again, as cameraman Huey screams and cries again. In the deliberations, the case is made for other people than rookie teams to go in, and cameraman Huey divulges that he voted for himself and Ashley in the last deliberation. The House votes in Coriel and Michelle, and the agency Fester deliberates on possibly breaking up the Big Brother Alliance and sending in Amber B. And Fessy pulls the trigger, showing he is not capable of working with literally anyone. Josh predictably loses his mind. The elimination challenge is some bizarre slide puzzle thing or whatever. Michelle and Coriel go home, and the vet war begins. TJ chastises Corey, L, and Huey for being poor sports, and we do the partner shuffle. Huey grabs Nani, Amber B pairs with Devin, and now BXG rookie favorites Emmy and Gabo are the only rookie team left, which leaves a target on the table.
Yeah, that was like my first impression. Is like, boom, that's just sucks for them because we like them now. They're 100% going in.
I don't know if we like Gabo. He picked Nani because she's cute, but
I just like his honesty. I like his honesty, and his naivety is fun because he's just kind of whatever. I thought this was a big Huey week in like a positive sense. Is like he kind of showed that he actually had like that competitive spirit, which was he went off. That at the end, I knew TJ was going to hate that. That was hilarious. When TJ, the disappointment, it's like, it was your mom. And like, I'm not mad, I'm disappointed kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you don't want TJ telling you that. I mean, once again, the challenges were whatever to me. We're crawling high up, but whatever. I don't, Fester is definitely something to be nervous about because she's good. And that's the thing, is that she's actually good.
She's actually good, which and it seems like he's actually communicating well with her.
Yeah, maybe he went to like a class.
Anyone last season?
Maybe he took like a first grade English class or something. I don't know, just a reading class. Do
you know what my favorite part of the episode was?
Trying to rehash everything.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This episode was boring. Was actually really boring, minus like a 5-minute section towards the end.
Well,
then it got boring again.
What was your favorite part? Because I'll tell you my favorite part.
My favorite part was when Josh started flipping out and TJ just pulled his phone out.
Yeah, that was amazing. Pulled his phone out
and just like started texting someone.
And then he's like, "Shut up." Yeah, and I like that too. Yes, I like when Kyle and Devin thought it was clever that they like called themselves Guile. And I'm like, Dial. And I'm like, you're soap. You're soap. It's weird to me. I like Devin. Devin's probably like one of my favorite, but it's weird to me that people keep thinking he's like so good at this.
Well, he got picked this time because it set up the rookie thing.
Right. But it's just weird to me still. There's just like this weird thing about him being great at this when he isn't. Like that's my biggest thing is I understand doing the rookie thing. I know we talk about this every week, but the logic is still mind-boggling to me where we're like, why do we want to send rookies home? I would rather face rookies at the end, and yet they don't get this. I don't understand.
It's funny because that's the exact case that Michelle made in the deliberations, where it's like, why would you want to go against people who are as good as you? And they're all like, shut up.
Like, you don't know what you're talking about, rookie. And it's like, and I'm watching this, and I'm like, I was like, well, she's too logical for this game.
Right.
She's literally using common sense, and
and this is just more like she won Survivor. I mean,
right. So it makes sense.
It worse. She's good at starving to death.
Yeah, right. So
So
if that becomes a challenge on the challenge, she has to starve to death. She's going to be okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
she'll be
this
fine.
was, I sent you a text like it was a good episode. I just think because I liked Fessy, or I liked Fessy. I liked Josh freaking out, and that's all I really need. Because a lot of times, like, because these episodes are long, it's if I have him losing his mind, just it was insane how hilarious he was. Like, I had to like pause it to laugh for a little bit because he just went so off, and it's like he goes from 0 to 100 so fast. It's incredible. It's incredible.
And the thing about it is that he's actually like gotten better at not doing that.
Right.
Which is crazy. He still does that. I mean, he's not as emotional as past seasons. He's certainly not as emotional as when he was on Big Brother. I thought that it's a weird point to make that he made when they were at the club or whatever, that Josh and Devin are in a great spot in this game. Because there's no gold skulls.
Right.
Which means that a certain man who goes by 2 letters just has to just coast.
Oh, he's on full coast right now too. Like,
and the crazy part about it is it's like I don't think that like the way that the eliminations are set up really favors him, because nobody's going to be like, well, we're especially now that like the more and more weak rookie girls that they're getting out, nobody's going to go like, oh man, let's throw Tori in there and let's make CT her partner. Like nobody's going to, you're crazy if you do that.
Yep.
Like their best opportunity to get him out was at the very beginning.
Yeah. You know now it's pretty much over.
The later it gets, the harder it's going to be.
And when you said the thing about the 2 letters, there's just as much chance that CT reaches the final as TJ Lavin reaches the final. Like it literally is the same odds. It's so insane to me. It's just like, I mean, it's like you said, it had to be at the beginning, or with the way this is set up, he's just not.
And they even said that.
Coasting.
Like, oh, we don't want to go against CT. We want to go against each other. Well, what are you doing to stop that from happening?
Right. You have to do something. And it's like, in the previous seasons of this, if you're going to go after the head, like go for whoever's the best there, whether it was Wes or Johnny Bananas, you got to do it early.
You have to.
And if you don't, then you're screwed. And it seems like another CT at least reaching the final. I mean, you can never know at the final, right? Because you don't know what your partner is going to be, or especially with the way this challenge is set up. So he's still the favorite to me. Until someone knocks him off.
Yeah. In terms of like physically, Fessy's right there with CT. He's younger than him. So in terms of pure physicality, you do kind of have to give the nod to Fessy. Sure. But there is 2 things in the finals that are very important. Number 1, being able to do puzzles. Number 2, eating gross stuff.
Yeah.
And we've seen Fessy not be able to eat gross stuff. And there's also apparently this was filmed during Ramadan, and he has to fast. So what's he going to do if it's a eat gross stuff challenge? And he's like, well, I literally can't because of my religion, which is fine.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not throwing shade at him for, following the tenets of his religion, but it's going to be in there. You know what I mean?
Well, it almost feels like too, and it sounds weird, but because producers of this show are good at doing things like this, because now they know he won't eat gross crap, they're going to throw this in every time. Him, if he makes it that far.
If he makes it far, it's a guarantee that there's going to be an eat gross shit challenge.
Yeah. So it's rough because, I mean, I don't dislike him as much this season as I have in past seasons. That was like a bold move to make, what he did there, but still, it's just like,
it's the same thing he did his last season.
I guess the thing is he's not on camera enough because there's actually people that are more entertaining. Thankfully, there's what I should say is people that talk more.
Yeah.
That talk more. So they're going to get the camera time. He'll get his camera time. There's also so many people left. This week was another week where I saw someone and I was like, oh, not a camera person, but I thought it was just someone helping out. And then it was one of the contestants. And I'm like, oh, okay. This is still too many people.
And that kind of goes back to what you had said early on, as far as these episodes don't need to be 90 minutes long because I don't need 5 minutes of Big T and whatever Johnny Spaniard
Right.
like down on the dock together. Like I love Big T, but I don't care about that.
we know she's got to be brave.
Right.
But
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think the thing is honestly, this has got to be the most popular, top 3 most popular show on MTV. I am just gonna have to, so this is
one.
bad. Well, there's like Teen Mom, stuff like that's still really popular. I'm just guessing. So
this is America's 4th major sport.
True. Yeah. I don't know what the ratings are. I should check that and
better
see
than
if
the
I can
Stanley Cup Finals.
I wonder if it is. We should seriously dig in to see if it is actually better than the Stanley Cup Finals. It wouldn't shock me. That's sad for the Stanley Cup Finals.
Viewership for NHL.
It's a lot of people for
Stanley Cup was 2.52 million viewers on NBC, which is a 17% increase.
Okay.
Compared to last year. Whoops. The other thing, it's probably hard to
I guess with streaming and stuff, because neither you or I watch this live.
Yeah, exactly.
You usually can count.
So the challenge double agents, well, they do it by social media. It's probably hard to qualify.
I will say that I follow a lot of different people and personalities, and they talk way more about this than they talk about the NHL playoffs.
Yeah. Well,
when that's not even their normal thing, when that's not their normal go-to thing. And then they're like, well, the challenge is on, so here we go. Yeah. But, we'll see what happens. I still, like I said, CT is still my male favorite. Is he your male favorite?
Yeah,
and you have a female favorite
silly
going forward?
No. I think it's a big crapshoot.
I think it is too.
Because I feel like Tori's probably the most well-rounded, I would say. If it comes to, she's just so full of herself. She didn't get a lot of camera time this episode, and I think that was probably good for Tori.
Yeah.
If it comes to a pure physical thing, which it never does, right? But if it's purely strength, it's probably Anissa. If it's endurance, it's probably Amber B.
Yeah.
Casey's probably a little bit more well-rounded than Tori, but she's got the injury history now. You know what I mean? There's question marks there. Can you stay healthy through the playoffs? You know what I mean? Her injury rating's low.
I think Amber B is fine now because she's with Devin, so she's going to have a few rounds to get through.
Maybe.
I mean,
with Josh, you would have assumed.
I guess, yeah.
I mean, Esther looks good.
Esther does look good.
But it's just
the women's actually way more intriguing. Yeah, it's way more intriguing.
It's such a crapshoot unless you have somebody that's truly dominant, like a Laurel or a Jenny or a Cara Maria, somebody like that. Unless you have somebody like that, then it's way more of a crapshoot.
Yeah,
I would say.
I think you're right. It's but CT forever, and CT until it's not CT.
CT
so we'll move
Johnny
on.
Bananas comes back.
Right, until Johnny Bananas comes back. Hopefully that's next season. I want Johnny, I want Wes, and I want CT all in one episode. That's what we need. That's what America deserves as the 4th major national sport.
I agree.